Hello there, YouTube. We're going to show our wheel weights we made. These are off my 79 Ford F-150, the rear brake drums. They fit right into the rim. This might be hard to see with it on the tractor here. They fit right in here really good. Okay. And we'll show how we put weights in it. Get down in here. Okay. See these blocks? This is like 3-inch by 1-inch steel. They're pretty heavy. I could add some more. If you look up in there, see where I cut the whole center out of the hub, so it will clear the flange, the green part of the tractor. So you can put these on, then put the wheels on. It did make them pretty heavy. Okay, you can add quite a bit of weight in here as long as you don't cover this hole up. See how these are right at the edge of the hole. I could add some more little blocks in here, smaller pieces. Well, I was cutting with a 4.5-inch grinder, so you can probably see why. But in between here is where the bolts are welded. Just scrap pieces of ready bolt, stuff that was, I tried using bolts that was actually a little better than ready bolt to be tough. And I'll go on the outside and see how they're bolted. See up there to where the bolt's going through the rim? That way you can leave these on all year round and you still have the nice look of your wheels. I wanted to achieve both. I wanted weights I could leave on, don't have to worry about unless you're changing a tire or something, and just leave them on all year round. And included in this video will be my chains I put on here, which I made out of truck chains. They're homemade. Okay, you get a pretty good view of that. Sun's just about right cooperating with me. Okay, let's go around here to the front. Here's where your bolts come through. These holes were already here in the wheel, which I was assuming they were for the factory weights. I'm kind of new to these old tractors, John Deere stuff. I got a hold of this and I started learning as I went. These are the original tires. Firestone. We'll bring it around here somewhere. 23 by 8.5 by 12. 12-inch rim. These are 23 tall, 8.5 wide on a 12-inch rim. I'm sure I'm right. If I'm not, someone correct me, but these were silver. I don't know if they was factory. I didn't want to do no factory restoration, but on these hubs, is that snap ring? These hubs are a little loose because these are cast. Someday I'm going to have to find a couple of these because I am careful not to be spinning, destroying too much stuff. There is some slop in them on them swines. But I'm assuming because that's hard steel, this soft steel, they'd rather have you buy this than have to replace this in the transaxle. So a couple of mine are kind of sloppy. When you put them on there, you can feel it. Because all it holds them is a snap ring, as you can see in there. Thought I'd add this in there. Okay, next video we'll have included on this is when I get the chains on it. I did want to show the weights. Okay, here's my chain setup. These bands came from a set of those cable type chains someone threw it away. It had this tool to stretch your rubber band. What I did is I went in the middle. I had to make these chains. I had to make the length to fit these tires. I also had to make the width. So these were all cut apart. Like here, these were heated, spread apart with the torch. Got the proper length and put these chains back together over and over to get this the way I want it. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 crossbars. Okay. Now to put this rubber band around here, it wasn't tight enough. So I have plenty of chain left over. They were off of pickup truck chains. So I just cinched it in the middle here. It's not really centered or nothing, but they have not fell off. They have not come loosened. This will be the second winter I've used them. Okay. We'll go back and show the back. laying down her on cardboard, so it's hard to move around. See, now the back clears the drum. They do pull to one side a little bit. These do tend to pull to one side a little bit, but that's how I did it. Here's the type of lugs on these. Some of these had a V shape. These are very aggressive in the snow. You notice these tires are old and weather cracked. They're going to have tubes probably maybe next year because they do have slow leak. I've already put tubes in the front. And I run the front a little low because I don't want to crack these anymore. The more pressure you put in the tire, the more you're going to crack these. These are still holding air. They're original. I really don't want to buy the tractor tread type tire because I watched a few YouTube videos where they said they get stuck quicker than if they just put chains on their tires. I kind of do believe that. Just because you have that tractor tread, that don't mean you're not going to get stuck. So it clears all this. I'll go show this little hat latch here on the front. So they do tend to pull to one side. You can see how it comes around. This one up here. Here's your latch mechanism. It's kind of self-explanatory. You put it through here, it goes in here, and then it hooks over. So this is all the factory truck chain pieces because they were complete chains. Bless the junk man that sold me these for probably like $10 instead of $20. It was like one of his good days or something. I had to carry him out of the junkyard because I had the wife's car, so I carried 2 sets of these on my back. The pair of these, I should say. And they weren't light. They would probably fit a 17-inch pickup wheel back in the day, 60s, 70s. But you get the idea. I just went in the middle. I'm sure you could probably find these rubber bands somewhere. You could maybe get some kind of cable or something. But these rubber bands work great. Somewhere I have a spare. I hope I find it if I ever need it. Pretty tough rubber band. It's like a giant O-ring. I've never had them come loose. I've had to readjust once in a while because I've got stuck and dug a little bit, and they've kind of thrown them off at an angle. I've had to loosen one set up and readjust it, but I've never had any failure with them. But that's just a hunk taken out of a link, as you can see, to make a hook. So you just hook them on here, you just put your rubber band, take your tool, when it starts getting tight and stretch it, I put these on, and the only thing I had to stretch was this part. I did get them all on there by hand with my gloves on. I did have to stretch this over to get this on. So it took a little bit of muscle. But you can see they do run over if you looked on the other side where this piece was. But it all clears my wheel weights. There you have it. I think we about covered it. I'll have a couple pictures at the end showing both sides completed and all that other good stuff. Thanks for watching.